All right. Welcome back, Remodelites. It is Dave with Remodel Media. Sorry about the false start there a moment ago. Had a little bit of a technical issue. So, anyhow, wanted to talk to you guys for a minute, just say hello and let you know what's been going on with me. Cancel. Sorry, getting pop-ups over here. Anyhow. So hope you guys enjoyed the last episode that we did about dishwashers. The idea here was I wanted to make sure that I'm covering as much as possible. There are a lot of components that go into a home remodel. And I've noticed over the last 14 years of doing this, people have a lot of the same questions some of the time. And it happened again yesterday. I had a lady come into the showroom, and she was just starting the process of a remodel. And I was anticipating every question almost before she could ask it. And she asked me, she said, "Are you a mind reader? Wow, we're vibing so good." I'm like, "Yeah, we are." But the reality of it was I've just heard those same questions asked 100 times, 1,000 times. Dogs, go lay down. Come here, Missy. Come here. Say hi to the people. Yeah, Missy wants to say hello. Oh, and Jackson wants to say hello. All right, you guys. That's enough. Big dog problems. Anybody else got dogs out there? Go lay down. So I've had dogs most of my life, so I'm used to it by now. I think anybody who's got dogs out there, they know what I'm talking about. Anyhow, so yeah, when it comes to answering people's questions, the main reason I started this channel was I kind of wanted to scratch my own itch. I had this idea that if all the people that I've helped over the last 14 years, if they all had many of the same questions, that means a lot of you folks out there too, which a lot of you folks out there do too, which kind of brings me to my first comment response, which is, I'll tell you right now, Maxon E a week ago on my video about kitchen sinks. He writes, very generic information anyone could find online. This is missing the personal expertise advice you offer a customer. What sink do you have at home and why? If you specialize in a product, you should have something to share with a potential customer that is more than just general information. Here's the thing. I'm one guy making a video channel, and occasionally I get help from my friends. In that video, my friend Carlos was holding the camera, but I'm just one guy making a YouTube channel, and I wanted to start big. I wanted to start generic because, well, every question that I answered in that video is a question that I have been asked at least 100 times in my career, probably a lot more, but at least 100 times. What is an undermount sink? What's the difference between undermount, tile-in, drop-in, apron front, farmhouse? What's the difference between apron front and farmhouse? There isn't. It's the same thing. But and I get a lot of people, they say farmhouse, but what they really mean is single bowl undermount. So the vocabulary there is missing. And so people, to address Maxon E's point, I think he understood the point of the video, and I think maybe he just didn't understand why the video had that point. The point of that video was not to sell you a sink. It wasn't. It was to tell you the questions you should be asking before you buy the sink. That's why I titled it specifically, How to Avoid Mistakes When Picking a Sink for Your Kitchen. The title of the video was not, here's the best sink and here's why. Because, as I said in the very beginning of the video, there is no best sink. It's whichever one is best for you, for your installation, for your family, for how you're going to use it. Every sink, every feature has a potential. For example, I had a lovely lady call me a few weeks ago. She had caught the same video on YouTube, and she called me up and she said, "Thank you." And I said, "Well, what do you mean?" And so she said, "I have been searching for weeks, trying to find videos on YouTube that," well, actually, I think she said days. I apologize. I exaggerated a little. She said, "I've been searching for days, trying to find someone to explain to me all these different features of kitchen sinks." And that was the point of the video. And we had a nice little chat. Come to find out, she's from Ohio. She has some back problems. And she found that a low divide sink, which is featured in that video, a low divide sink was the right sink for her, and for her back problems, for her accessibility issues. And that's the thing. Anything that I sell is right for somebody. Not a a $12,000 refrigerator. Some people need a $600 refrigerator. Some people need a $2,000 refrigerator. It just depends on what you want. What do you want to get out of it? Are you a starving student who just needs to keep his food cold, or are you more planning for like a family? You've got you can spend a little bit more, but you also need to be smart with your money, and you can't. You're not in a $10,000-$12,000 budget. That's fine. All of it's fine. It's a question of what's best for you. So that's that's my response to that. And I think I wrote out something to that effect. So Max and E, if you consider this base level information in that episode, good. I'm glad you consider that base level information, because it was meant to be base level information, what those sinks are. So you say it's very generic information anyone can find online. Yes, it is. That's why I put it online, so people can find it. And there you go. So along the same lines, on the same video, Landon M, about the same time frame as Max, and he says, "Awesome video. I think I'll go with fire clay. I like the look of the gloss and the fact that it's one material all the way through. One question, how would it hold up to cast iron skillets?" And so I responded that fire clay is very durable. It really is. And it is it is the same material all the way through. It's baked to a higher temperature than cast iron. And fire clay is a great material to choose. As far as cast iron skillets, you hit anything hard enough with a cast iron skillet, it'll break. Doesn't matter what it is. If you're swinging it like Rapunzel in Tangled, yeah, you're going to cause some damage. If you're just moving it around the sink and washing it and even dropping it a little bit, like, oops, it slipped out of my hand, you're going to be fine. So hope that answers your question there, Landon M11. And so that's just a couple of things that are right off the bat. Something really cool happened to me the other day. I actually got a message on Facebook from a guy in Ireland who was asking questions Daniel in Ireland had questions about his garbage disposal. And he said, I'm sorry to message you like this, but I've been keenly watching your YouTube video regarding garbage disposals. And he had a few questions. So we were actually covering the Frankie, which featured very heavily in that episode. It is still one of my favorite my favorite garbage disposals. But I actually didn't know the answer to his question. His question was, does the Frankie have the same auto reverse feature as the InSinkErator? Now I thought that it did, but I wasn't sure, so I told him I would call and I would check. So I called Frankie and I checked on it. Turns out, no, it does not. So for those of you who don't know, certain disposers, including the InSinkErator Evolution series, the Pro Excel, the Pro Essential, they have a feature called the auto reverse, where basically if it hits a jam, it backs off immediately. So you don't have to climb under there with a jam buster wrench and undo it. Now I did reach out to Frankie, and they said that while they don't have an auto reverse feature, due to the fact that it's a 1.25 horsepower, it very rarely jams up. And they did inform us that they did inform me that they do have a feature that I was not aware of when I made that video. They have a magnetic silverware ring around the drain, which catches your silverware before it goes down into the drain. And that's really cool. So they're more than willing to work with you if you do get a jam, but it's highly unlikely. They also said a disposer unjamming wrench, which is like a T-shaped device. I'll put a link in the description below. Can be a useful tool for that as well. So those are some things that have been going on with me lately, going on with the channel, and I'm having a lot of fun. As you know, I've reached over 100 subscribers, which is great. It actually means that I can create my own custom YouTube URL. I am now youtube.com/remodelmedia, not just user UCA6NQB, whatever it was. I actually have a custom URL, which is really cool. And so I got that set up. And I am in the process of editing several episodes. I still have several episodes left that I haven't published yet from KBiz this year. I've been sprinkling them out throughout the year. Several different product launches and product reviews and things like that. I also have, for those of you who don't know, KBiz is the kitchen and bath industry show. I did a little vlog a while back. I'll probably put a card up right here. Yeah, right here. Anyhow, so that's what I'm working on. I also have a vlog and some product updates from my decor trip. And you'll notice I have not put up anything from that trip just because it was such a big trip. Trying to edit all that video down into something tangible and digestible for you guys is actually really challenging. So I'm trying to cut out the fluff and give you guys really just the meat and potatoes of it. The long story short from my decor trip was that here's my quick take on decor. Decor was a family-run business, and it was founded probably 75 some odd years ago. And over the years, investors have purchased and taken over, and right now decor is owned by Samsung. And so my biggest fear finding out that decor was owned by Samsung, I thought that meant the quality was going to go down. Decor, I am pleased to report, has not gone down in quality. If anything, it's become more consistent, because before they have always made their own cooking ovens, cooktops, ranges, and ventilation right there in, well, now it's in City of Industry. It used to be in Dana Point. I think it was Dana Point. Anyway, but always in California. And so they've always made their own stuff on that, and they've always outsourced their refrigerators. They haven't always outsourced their dishwashers. They did make their own dishwasher for a while. It didn't work out well. There's a little bit of a humorous reference to it in my Waterstone video. I'll put a link to up there. But I did reference it. The 30-inch dishwasher was a bit of an albatross for them. So they are still making in California all of their ovens, their ranges, their cooktops. They are now outsourcing still their refrigeration and their dishwashers and things like that, but they are outsourcing them to Samsung. So they have a direct control over their product. Whereas before they were buying it, maybe they bought it from the dishwasher from Asco and the refrigerator from Whirlpool, and they couldn't control these companies because they were separate companies. There was no internal mechanism. They just had to take what they were given, and that may have led to some problems over the years. So if anything, they have more control over the quality now that they are owned by Samsung. So that is actually a really good move on their part, I think. Let's see. So I'm still working on the decor episodes. I've been to a couple of NKBA, National Kitchen and Bath Association events. I still have a few videos. I did the Wine to Water tour where we toured the Waterstone factory. I got to interview my friend Darcy. I'll go ahead and put a link up here on the replay. But I got to interview my friend Darcy. I've known her for years. And she's the owner and founder of Waterstone Faucets. And that was a lot of fun, just seeing the factory. I've actually never been inside the factory to where it's been, even though I've known Darcy for years. I've just said, oh, cool, you're made in California, and that's awesome. So that's what's going on for me. I wanted to see if... let's see. I really want to do an episode about refrigerators. I haven't really touched I think the only time I even referenced refrigerators was in my episode regarding Cobra Kai. So yeah, Cobra Kai, for those of you who don't know, is the Karate Kid continuation series of it takes Ralph Macchio and Billy Zabka and puts them back in their original roles of Johnny and Danny, and but now they're adults, they have kids, and it's a YouTube original series, and it was a lot of fun poking through that series, looking for the different fixtures they had in their homes, and they actually do have some really well, I'll put a link there. You can watch the video. It's pretty fun. That's what it's like to watch TV with me, though. It's I will always look at the fixtures. I posted a meme on Instagram and Twitter a while back where I was watching an old episode of Star Trek Enterprise, and I don't know if you know this, but the Star Trek Enterprise sickbay with Dr. Phlox has in it two Growy Lady Lux faucets, and it would only take it takes somebody like me to notice that. So let's see, what else are we working on? I want to do an episode about refrigerators. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. There is a new product out, and I'm going to be publishing a video, I think maybe this week, about the features and everything on it. It is it's made by a company called Icera. Icera is a toilet brand, and that Icera is a toilet brand, and they have now a product which is a bidet combination toilet. And this is a first for them. It competes directly with the Toto NeoRest, and that is very interesting to me because you look at the Toto NeoRests, and even the cheapest one is probably around $4,000. This one is almost half. I think the retail on it is $3,000, but I think you can usually pick it up from a dealer for probably around $2,000, $2,200, something like that. So it's almost half of what you can pick up the Toto NeoRest for, which is really, really interesting to me. So it seems to have a decent flush system. It has an inline water heater. It has all of the things. The only thing it doesn't do that the Toto NeoRest does is it doesn't have this auto open seat that opens when you walk up to it. But if that's not a big deal to you, then it doesn't need to be. So let's see. That's pretty much it for me that's going on with Remodel Media. I hope this little glimpse into my into my living room wasn't too shocking here. I got the dogs running around. The kids are still asleep. It's only 9 o'clock on a Sunday. So anyway, I wanted to just touch base with you guys, let you know what I've been up to. And please leave a comment down below. Let me know where you're watching from. That's always interesting to me. I love to know where people are watching from. And let me know what's your favorite little piece of advice that I've given you so far. Anyway, thank you very much, and I'll catch you in the next one.